Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Our dear student, Assalamu alaikum. I hope that you would be doing good and you are following my words. So today we are going to start the lecture number 5 from the history and importance of hadith. This lecture is about the division of the hadith, division of the collection of hadith, basically hadith collection. Okay, in order to understand each and everything, I have just disordered things. I have just given new order to the topics from Frkhanda Noor Muhammad in order to have the proper explanation of everything. So the lecture 5 is hadith collection as far as division is concerned. We have studied the meaning of hadith, then we studied about the structure of hadith, then we studied about the types of hadith. So basically everything in each and every topic, both parts will be discussed. The first part, that is known as Musanad, and the second part, that is known as Matan. So in the same way, today we are going to study about the division of books of hadith, that how hadiths are divided into different categories or into different parts. So let's start. Up to the end of the you can say first century, hadith become the integral part of Muslim activities, theological activities. The Muslim scholars, not only the scholar, but the common person, the common people, their purpose was to memorize the hadith, listen hadith, and transmit it to the other people around the different societies or in the different cities. Got it? So teaching and compilation was their mission, the purpose of their life. So when this happened over there, so people used to memorize hadith all the time. They don't used to write hadith in their manuscripts in a proper way, although they used to write different hadiths, 1, 2, 5, 10, 100, but there was not a specific book in which hadiths were compiled over there. So after the first century AH, after the 100 AH, actually different people started to think that we need to compile the ahadith into a book form. Okay, so this was a turning point. So different people thought that the scholar of Islam that we need to compile ahadith into a book form, so that actually the coming generation might have the proper benefits, so that actually hadith can be preserved into a book form. So different people came with different ideas. One of them said that we are going to choose the sanad to the compilation of the Holy Quran, and this division is known as Musnad. Right? So the word Musnad is derived from word sanad, and sanad means authority, name of the narrators, the people who narrated the hadith from one person to another person, and we have studied this in detail over there in the parts of hadith. Got it? So the scholars said that actually we are going to collect all those ahadith with the name of the narrators. Okay, which narrators? They said that we are going to compile the hadith by using the first narrator, mean that companion of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him. So they started to work on it. So they did not bother about the theme of hadith. They did not focus on the words of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, but they just focus on the name of the companion. Okay, the question is, why did they think like that we need to compile a hadith using the name of the companion, the first narrator of the hadith? Okay, there is a simple answer. Because at that time, people of different areas, they used to visit different people, different scholars to listen the hadith. And the scholar actually they had a direct link. They were the students of the different companions like Hazrat Abu Huraira, Hazrat Abdullah bin Umar, Abdullah bin Abbas, Hazrat Aisha, and other companion of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him. So whenever they used to narrate a hadith to the people, to the next generation, they used to take the name that we heard from Hazrat Abdullah bin Umar, that he said Holy Prophet did like this. They used to say, we heard from Hazrat Abdullah bin Umar that Holy Prophet used to said this. So mean that actually the scholar of Islam, they do have the information on the behalf of the different companions. So they thought that whatever we have heard from the Hazrat Abdullah bin Umar, Abdullah bin Abbas, Abu Huraira, or Hazrat Aisha Raziyallahu Anhum Ajmain, whatever we have heard from them, we need to compile, we need to write the words of Holy Prophet which has been given to us through these people. So they started to compile the hadith And so books begun with the companion are called Musnad. Got it? So this is how the Musnad types of books started to came into being. They started to came forward to the hand of the Muslim. Okay, the best example of this type of book is Musnad by Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal, and he was a scholar person. He chose 30,000 hadiths over 750,000 hadiths. So he was the first person who started to compile the Musnad book of hadith, and this is the most reliable or most valuable or the most brilliant work of any scholar, Musnad by Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal. So he started to write down the ahadith. Okay, how? For example, he said the chapter, this is my book and I'm going to collect the ahadith by using the name of the companion. For example, chapter 1 will be ahadith narrated by Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq. Chapter number 2, ahadith narrated by Hazrat Umar. Chapter number 3, hadith narrated by Hazrat Usman. And chapter number 4, hadith narrated by Hazrat Ali radhiyallahu anhum ajmain. And then so on. So each and every chapter collected the ahadith of a specific companion. So this is how Musnad books of hadith are being collected over there. So this type of hadith also have many advantages and disadvantages. Okay, what are the advantages? Number 1, if you want to know about a hadith of a specific person, it would be easy for you to look into the hadith, to read about the books of a specific people. Got it? This is the most important advantage of this type of hadith. And disadvantage is if you want to read about a hadith about a specific topic like namaz, like fasting, hajj, zakat, etc., it's impossible for you to find the all hadith in the same book. Got it? So this is the disadvantage of hadith, and there are many other advantages as well. You need to write down few of them by yourself. Okay, then comes the second book of hadith. So second book hadith collection, the division is Musunaf. So books basically are of hadith. So then another people came, they said that actually now we are going to focus on the words of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him. The previous people, they focus on the name of the narrators. The other scholars said we are going to compile hadith by using the words of the Holy Prophet, the theme of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him. So they chose the second part of the hadith that is known as matan. So books of hadith took other form known as Musannaf. So Musannaf means divided up, mean that hadiths are divided into chapters or sub-chapters according to the themes of the hadith, irrespective of the sanad. So they thought that we need to compile the hadiths of the Holy Prophet using their theme, the topic. So they did not focus on the sanad over there. For example, a hadith regarding fasting. So they compiled all ahadith of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, regarding fasting or namaz or zakat, etc. They did not use to see the name of the companion or the sanad. So this is how they started to compile the ahadith. The best example of this is Al-Muwatta by Imam Malik bin Anas. So this was the best example. That was the earlier book of this type of hadith, Musannaf. So they said that we are going to compile a hadith. In that books of hadith, chapter 1 will be about the namaz, and chapter 2 will be about fasting, chapter 3 will be about zakat, then hajj, and so on. So this is how ahadith are being compiled, ahadith are being put together on the behalf of the theme or the words of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, irrespective of sanad. So this is how, my dear students, hadiths were collections were made in the earlier phase of Islamic history. Okay, 6 authentic books like Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Muslim, Sunan ibn Majah, Nisai, Tirmidhi, all are the same type of Musannaf books of hadith. Got it? In the same way, these books also got some advantage and disadvantages. You need to read, you need to find out by yourself, because it's going to help you a lot. So my dear students, this is the topic of the day. You need to read from the both books, try to understand everything, and it will be easy for you to understand. So inshallah tomorrow we are going to have another lecture. Until then, Allah Hafiz.